The woman, 28F, I am seeing, non-exclusive, left the party with another man in front of me, 27M, now she is calling me again, so we have been dating non-exclusively for about a month now. We went to this party together, I drove and I was going to remain sober as I had to drive us back too. Around 2 hours into the party she came towards me, with a guy in tow and told me that she would be leaving with him tonight and I didn't have to worry about her. She stood for almost a minute after telling me this, and kept looking back at me till she was out of view. I was of course very disappointed as I really liked her, but well, what can you do? But she called me 2 days later and asked if I wanted to hang out. I was confused, but I didn't really say anything except I am busy, maybe later. She said cool, let me know when you are free and we will schedule something. I don't know Reddit, why would she call me afterwards? Technically she didn't do anything wrong, but what she did obviously hurt me, she must know that. Then why call me afterwards? Any advice? Update number 1, so the general consensus among the comments I read before going out, it was 100 comments till then, was that I shouldn't talk to her, but I really wanted to talk to her and get her side. There were 2 reasons. Firstly, I was genuinely surprised with this behavior of hers as this is not how she behaves normally, and secondly, I really like her. So I decided to meet her for a cup of coffee. When we met I told her how hurtful her actions were that night, and although we were not exclusive that's not how treat someone you like. She was very apologetic and told me that she didn't hook up with the guy and he just gave her a ride till her home. She showed me a text she sent him around 45 minutes after she left the party where she told him, thanks for the ride. Then she told me that she just wanted me to say something to her or stop her, anything to show that I was interested in going official with her, but when I didn't say anything she just decided to go home. So then I asked why not ask me, and then she went on a mini rant of sorts. She said when she asked the last guy to go exclusive after 3 weeks of dating he called her insecure and clingy, and laughed at her for being out of touch of the dating realities. She also said that he told her no one would exclusive before 2 months, so she is just playing herself by hoping for exclusivity so early. She obviously broke up with him, but she told me that his words have obviously stayed with her. And when she and I didn't discuss exclusivity even after 1 month she feared that history was repeating itself again, so she was desperate for any sign of my interest. She also says she didn't want to come off as clingy or insecure without getting any sign from me, that's why she didn't initiate the exclusivity conversation with me. She does seem to be very sorry and wants us to continue dating exclusively. I am torn right now. I obviously like her and want to see where it goes, but I am also hurt. But then everyone makes a mistake sometimes. Does that mean I should ignore our obvious chemistry and potential? Oh, and also she was pretty drunk that night, so that didn't help too. I have asked till Friday to tell her my decision. Any advice? Update #2, so I just came back after having dinner with her. I asked her to be my GF and she accepted it instantly, lol, so that's settled. Also I told her to refrain from any games testing in the future and just talk to me if she has any issues, doubts, and she agreed. I reminded her that although we had a rough start to our relationship, we can make the next phase a much smoother one if we just agreed to communicate even on the difficult issues, and she was in complete agreement. Since it was our first date as officially BF and GF I thought not to push the issue, and then we went for dinner to her favorite sushi place. I still can't eat well with chopsticks, so I had to call for fork while she ate sushi with chopsticks like a boss, lol. So that was the update. We are exclusive BF and GF now and I am really happy. Thank you for all of you who made me realize that waiting till Friday was futile. Story 2. My daughter is 12, I'm trying to teach her ways of creating and respecting her boundaries that are age appropriate. Teaching her that it's okay to say no to things she feels uncomfortable with. There is a boy in her class who keeps bothering her and her female friends at recess. I've encouraged her to go to me or her teacher when this happens. My daughter told me a few days ago that in class, the teacher had asked the kids to form groups of about 4 or 5. She had formed a group of 5 with some other girls, then the boy who had been giving her trouble at recess came over and said he was joining their group. Another girl said that they already have 5, and he should work with a group who only have 2 or 3 people. He said no because the teacher had said about 4 or 5. My daughter then said that they didn't want to work with him, and he should find another group. A few of the other girls agreed with her. He said that, you can't exclude me like that, it's against class rules, and she said she didn't care. I heard about this from my daughter first, and the way she talked about it, she had been firm but not unkind. But then I got an email from her teacher saying she wanted to call. She said there had been an incident at school where my daughter had excluded another child, and that wasn't allowed in her class, and she wanted me to have a talk with her about it. Her telling of events was the same as my daughter's. I felt proud of my daughter for her honesty. I sent her an email saying, "Dear Mrs. Teacher, I'm sorry, but that is not a lesson I feel comfortable teaching my daughter. She's at the age where she is already having to deal with unwanted attention, and I'm making a point to teach her that she does not have to be around anyone who makes her uncomfortable. And that a young lady is able to choose to spend time with people who make her feel respected. I understand you already are aware, boy has been behaving in ways that she feels uncomfortable with at recess, from our prior conversations. I think it is a very dangerous lesson to teach a girl she has to include and be kind to everyone, instead of teaching her to be aware of when someone is not respecting her, and stepping out of the situation. I hope I don't have to explain in too much detail why I find this important. But to put it briefly, I was brought up with the include everyone mindset. No exceptions. It taught me to ignore my own comfort level, and as I became a young adult I became the victim of men who used my inability to say no to their advantage. It's a dangerous lesson, and no longer appropriate at that age. Thank you, OP. She emailed me back asking for a meeting in person with the principal. I'm preparing for that but wondering if my email was too harsh. AITA for my response to my daughter's teacher. Update: I reached out to the parents of the other 4 girls in the class who were involved, and we all coordinated to go speak to the school administration together. They had similar views, thinking it was inappropriate for the school to expect the girls work with someone who they're not comfortable with, and frustrated the teacher didn't do more to deal with the issues during recess that made the girls uncomfortable to start with. I ended up asking the school if we could reschedule the meeting to a time all the involved families could make, and we ended up meeting this afternoon along with my husband, another couple, 2 mothers, and a father. Along with the teacher and principal. We all presented a united front asking for the following. The school does training for the teachers on trauma-informed teaching methods and the dangers of expecting young women to go against their best judgment of their own boundaries to be nice. Instead of include everyone, the kids should be allowed to respectfully set boundaries and taught to respect each other's boundaries. The school addresses harassment in class or at recess and doesn't enable it to continue. We went to talk, and I think it went a lot better having all the parents join instead of if I'd gone alone. The teacher and principal apologized and the principal agreed to look for resources on how to better navigate the balance between being inclusive and not forcing kids into including someone who is crossing a line with them. Thanks a lot for all the amazing advice in the comments. I cannot believe how much this blew up, and I'm so grateful to everyone who replied with advice and support. And honestly was getting pretty emotional hearing how the lessons I'm trying to teach my little one resonated with other women, whether they're moms too, or have been through some of the same struggles I have. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.